Welcome to The Explainer. All right, let's jump right into it. Today, we are taking a deep, honestly kind of fascinating dive into one of the most chaotic, unpredictable, and highly volatile social media ecosystems on the internet right now. I'm talking about Threads. If you're a brand, a business owner, or a marketer, you probably feel this immense pressure to be active on there. But as we're about to see from some truly spectacular failures, navigating this platform requires a completely different playbook. So let's see if we can piece together a survival guide for this incredibly wild ecosystem.
You know that classic golden rule of modern marketing? The one that says, just be authentic, be yourself. Well, we have a saying for that now. Be yourself on social media. Careful, you might just burn. Actually, I want to challenge that traditional advice right out of the gate today, because on Threads, trying to just be yourself as a brand is a massive trap. In fact, doing exactly that is the root cause of over 80% of brand PR disasters on the platform. We're going to explore why authenticity can, surprisingly, be your biggest liability. Moving to Section 1, Brand Crises on Threads.
To give you a bit of local flavor, over in Taiwan, where Threads has just absolutely exploded in popularity, the user base affectionately pronounces it "cui," which literally translates to crispy. And man, it is an incredibly fitting name because it's this very fragile, crunchy environment where things can shatter in an instant. Threads is a fascinating double-edged sword. On one hand, you have the potential for massive, organic, totally free exposure. You can reach hundreds of thousands of people literally just by hitting publish. But on the other hand, the cost of entry is the deadly risk of a sudden, fiery public relations disaster. It's often referred to as a flame war or getting burned. One wrong word and the entire platform will turn on you with astonishing speed. Let's move to Section 2, 3 painful backlash cases. All right, to really grasp this, we need a serious reality check. Our first case is the tragicomedy of the Elopaya Japanese supermarket general manager. It is a classic rise and fall. In Phase 1, the GM rapidly gains 60,000 followers. His secret? He personally replied to netizens using this slightly awkward, super polite Japanese to Chinese Google Translate. People loved it. It felt really personal. But then, Phase 2 hits. Unipresident buys a 51% stake in the Taiwanese division. Naturally, fans were worried their beloved store was going to change. And instead of handling it calmly, the GM entered Phase 3, which was a total public meltdown. He aggressively posted defending it as an equal partnership. Well, fans immediately mocked that because 51% is literally a majority. His ego was shattered, he deleted his posts, basically threw a tantrum, and actually posted, "Is Taiwan safe today? It's too dangerous here," and even threatened to send his wife back to Japan. The internet roasted him alive. By July 31st, he announced he was completely closing his account, fleeing back to focus on the Thai market. A total disaster born entirely from taking comments too personally.
But wait, the absurdity actually escalates with the maternity brand MamaWay. So MamaWay posted a video falsely claiming that the sugar content in infant formula causes hyperactivity. Doctors and nutritionists immediately slammed them for it, so they issued an apology. But remarkably, and I still can't believe they did this, in their official statement, they dragged rival brands right into the crossfire, essentially saying, well, look at Abbott and Mead Johnson. I mean, who apologizes by explicitly naming their competitors? The internet was absolutely furious, rival legal teams likely got involved, and the FDA ultimately forced them to take the video down. They basically tried to put out a fire by pouring gasoline on their neighbors' houses. It just proves that a bad apology is often so much worse than the original offense.
Okay, our third painful case study is Jian Goat Milk. They had this beloved, super funny account manager that fans affectionately called the Goat Admin. People felt a really genuine connection to this persona. But one day, the marketing agency running the account posted a goodbye message. This revealed that the Goat Admin wasn't actually an employee of the milk company at all, but an outsourced agency. Fans felt deeply betrayed, you know? It's kind of like finding out your online crush is a catfish. But what escalated this from a misunderstanding into a true crisis was the head office's reaction. Instead of smoothing things over, they released a statement defending the agency, calling the fans' criticism a smear campaign, and then they actually threatened to sue the angry netizens. Threatening your own customers with lawsuits on Threads? That is absolute corporate suicide.
Section 3, Alternative Successful Brand Tactics.
Okay, let's all just take a collective breath. We've seen the epic failures. But interestingly, some brands survive by sidestepping PR crises entirely, basically by doing the exact opposite of traditional corporate communication. First up, we have Huayuan, famous for their classic oyster omelet potato chips. Their strategy? extreme absurdity. Their bio literally says the boss put a gag order on the admin to prevent PR crises, so they are only allowed to type 6 words: oyster omelet, potato chips. And that's it. No matter what anyone says to them or how hard people try to troll them, the brand only ever replies with those exact words. It is hilarious. On the flip side, you have a giant like Netflix. They don't do boring standard corporate promos. They use self-referential memes. To promote a new high school bullying drama like Class of Lies, they posted a 20-year-old screenshot of the classic teacher drama Gokusen, asking, "Have you grown up 20 years later?" It taps directly into nostalgia and internet culture without feeling like a forced sales pitch.
And to prove that this absurdity actually pays off, 800,000. That is the number of views Holian achieved on a single post on Threads simply by repeating the name of their potato chips in a comment section. Hundreds of thousands of free impressions, purely because they understood the weird, quirky humor of the platform and they made it absolutely impossible for anyone to get mad at them. They leaned hard into their constraints and they won massive engagement.
Which brings us to Section 4, using AI to prevent backlash. So, knowing this culture is dangerous and traditional marketing doesn't work, we need a robust defense system. But first, a massive, massive warning. Do not use AI to directly write your posts. We've all seen it happen, right? Brands get lazy, they use ChatGPT, and they accidentally leave the prompt right there in the final published text. There was this really famous case where a brand posted, "I am a type A person," followed entirely by the AI's internal commands. It instantly destroys your credibility. And here's the thing. The internet has an incredibly long memory. Once you make a mistake like that, netizens will screenshot it and they will bring it up in your comments for years to come. Extinguishing that kind of mistake is incredibly expensive and, frankly, just super embarrassing.
Instead, you need to use AI as your red team. You don't use it as a writer, you use it as an aggressive stress tester. Here's the exact workflow you should follow. Step 1. You input your brand guidelines and examples of past internet disasters into the AI. Step 2, and this is the magic part, you prompt the AI to act as an acid citizen, which is the local slang for a relentless internet troll. You tell the AI, attack this draft post. Find every single way someone could possibly be offended by this. It will find loopholes you never even considered. And step 3, you identify those vulnerabilities, you fix the post, or, if you're taking a calculated risk, you use the AI to pre-write an apology for the absolute worst-case scenario before you even hit publish. You have to be prepared for the fallout before the match is even lit.
Which actually brings us to a really profound piece of ancient wisdom. Speak only 30% to people. Don't give 100% of your heart. In the context of Threads, this is a golden rule for business owners. Look, when you see someone criticizing your brand, it is so tempting to jump right into the comments, overshare, and defend your company with 100% of your heart. But doing that is the equivalent of pouring gasoline on a fire. You have to know what to say, and honestly, more importantly, you have to know what to keep entirely to yourself.
Finally, Section 5, Ultimate Boss Internet Sense Test.
Because ultimately, survival on this platform isn't just about your AI workflow or your corporate strategy. It is entirely dependent on the psychology of the specific person hitting that publish button. To pass this test, you need to understand Wongon, or internet sense. It's that abstract, highly intuitive ability to just read the room online. It's knowing exactly when a comment is a joke, understanding the latest memes, and most importantly, having the ability to brush off aggressive trolls with a laugh instead of getting defensive and letting your ego get shattered. Now, young people who grew up online usually possess this naturally. But older founders, first-generation business owners, they are used to total respect in the boardroom, and they often instantly break down and get incredibly angry when faced with internet sarcasm. It is a massive generational divide, and it can literally tank a brand in minutes.
So I want to leave you with a final, slightly humorous litmus test to see if you actually have this internet sense. Go to YouTube and search for the Haha Thai channel. They have this famous video series where they just interview random idlers lounging around local towns like Kishan and Koshung. Watch one of those videos from start to finish. Here is the question. Do you understand the jokes? If you sit through it, completely confused, feeling awkward, and failing to grasp at least 80% of why it's funny, then for the safety of your company, step away from the keyboard, hand your brand's Threads account over to the younger generation immediately. Because if you don't get the joke on Threads, you become the joke. It really makes you wonder though, right? As platforms become increasingly driven by niche internet culture, is traditional corporate PR officially dead, or does it just need a completely new dictionary?